Dormann is the chairman and CEO of ABB. And ABB in 2002 will go through massive restructuring led by Jurgan Dormann as chairman and CEO. And what is the big difference between these two cases? Jurgan Dormann towed the company out of the ditch. So consequently, his momentum, what he has done with this fellow, was radically different than in this case. The success is clear in this case too. But for how long will you be able to prolong the momentum of this success? And therefore, take the people out of the ditch, give you a legitimacy, which is something critical for the next step. So, and that's what you have to think a couple of months down the road, 2 years, 3 years down the road. What would you be able to ask in this company? So that was an important nuance that we need to recognize. It's one case of turnaround, but it doesn't cover all the cases. And immediately we can see that a turnaround is in fact an ad hoc situation. Alors, let's see what is the next point about people-centric approach. First of all, I have to say first that it works very quickly. Just the second year of operation, we have already the profit back. But what you observe, which is far more important than the profit, is what was happening on the cash. Only 15 months of cash burning, and then we have immediately a cash recovery situation. What the Swiss were doing at that time when we were stopping the cash burn step, the Swiss company, Swiss International Airlines, was burning cash at a rate of 1 billion a year and another billion, and they sold the company for 60 million euro to Lufthansa. And they went through a restructuring. And this restructuring was successful. Very, very, very successful. But we have a question here. Great success. Up. But how do you assess such a quick success? Good news or bad news? It's something which we have to bear in the back of our mind. Is it a good news or a bad news when you have a board where nobody is from the airline sector? We are already back into profit. So what does it mean? We have already recovered. And that's what we will have to understand. Is this recovery solid enough? So, okay, drastic restructuring, downsizing, profit are back quickly. Alors let's see what is behind this kind of success. A turnaround is a people-centric approach. You know this model. And this model is very interesting to say something. That all this part, you know what McKinsey called the hard side of the organization, is irrelevant in a turnaround. Why? You don't have time. You cannot. So therefore, you take what you have, and you play with the soft side, and mainly with what? With people. Because when I said earlier, you have to succeed with the one, you know, who were in the past the cause of the problem, now your staff has to become the source of has to become the solution. And it is the kind of challenge we are usually observing in turnaround. So we have to now get this success with the same people who unfortunately were led into the wall. Therefore, we need to focus on the soft side, on these people. And what will we do? We'll see that the style, and especially the style of the CEO in this situation, is critical. Why? Because he has, first of all, to turn the page from the past. And what will he do to do that? Well, that's quite simple. Easy thing is tough decision, and it regards what? Assets. How he will sell immediately non-core assets or core asset in excess. But that's what Jurgan Dormann did. That's what these kind of people did, getting rid of divisions, say it's non-core. In the case of SN, it was not the case. Somebody else has sold all the company and gave to Rob Kuipers the mission to now manage in a profitable way. What was the new company? But you have also something else coming, tough decision and symbolic behavior. So through their symbolic behavior, the CEO will influence these people-centric approach and especially the way they will rebuild trust and confidence in the organization. I've taken 2 examples. I will quote the first one is Jean-Marie de Carpentry. He's a French fellow who turned around Cristaleria, so the subsidiary of Saint-Gobain in Spain, turned around Carnot, which became Carnot Metal Box, and it was a great success before he left, and turned around Bull. And what is a symbolic behavior? Bull was losing money in a way nobody can imagine. But Bull was located in Paris, in La Défense, in this kind of nice marble and glass building, and with outstanding losses. When De Carpentry arrived, he arrived at 9 o'clock, and at 10:30, he closed the penthouse floor where all the executive committee was located and said, okay, we'll first of all start by closing that. I want to have an office in the middle of the open space of the commercial people to hear what is going on in this company, and it is just the beginning. 1 month later, he closed this building and moved all the headquarters into some other facilities in order to send a message about now we need to manage cost and to have a style which is in line with the money we can spend. And it is what is important. Through your style, which message do you send to the troop so that the troop can regain trust and confidence, and you send simultaneously which message to the board, that the board say, yes, we have the correct person now managing this company. But is the style enough? That's the question. Certainly not. So we need to find something else, and it is what we have done in SN. In fact, we need to find a combination, re-engineering style, staff style, in order to make this trust-building momentum something reliable and sustainable. And what I did, we invent something we call never been done before. Why? Because when you are in a turnaround, turning the page from the past, you have to take care of benchmark. Oh, in the past we did that and that. Take care not being caught in this kind of thing. Therefore, that's why we try to do a lot of things which have never been done before. And I take this example, a customer survey. I'm ridiculous. A customer survey, a company like Sabena never did a customer survey before? No, never. Never a customer survey like this one. How can you make them differently? Well, in a very simple way. It's not the customer survey, which was never been done before, but who performed the customer survey? I made perform this customer survey by the top 40 executive of the company. I can tell you. 2,000 people, top 40 executive, and I say, now you will go and see the customer. It sounds like a storm in the company. What? We'll go and see the customer? Yeah, yes, you will go and see the customer by group of 2. You have to meet 3 customers over 4 weeks. So, 60 customers. It was quite interesting to get 60 points of observation of the company after 6 months. So it sent, again, a very powerful message about cost. We don't need an external consulting firm to do that. We need to observe that alone. It pulls the walls between the departments because people are in the same company but don't speak one to each other. There is a lot of message coming out of that. And when you look at how you are able to achieve things never been done before, you are surprised. And we see the result because there was something important. There was a new theme in this company. And the new theme was what? The customer. They were able to speak in their meeting, in their own department or in the executive committee meeting about the customer, but with hard facts. No, that was the head of Toyota who explained us what is the travel policy of Toyota. Fine. And now it is not something which is perceived, it's hard facts. So you change the paradigm.